Lot 13 is one of a handful of lots that gets you such a huge view. Miles of coastline, mountain views. The mountain views are underrated often because storms come from this direction and they float across the valley, making this type of lot an incredible place to just watch clouds, sunrises, rainbows, birds. It's a really nice spot to spend time. This is the eastern side of the lot. In the distance you can see a water tank which comes with the property. Driveway coming up is right in this area here, and this is the lot. Big, buildable, and flat. Super beautiful northern views all the way from the river mouth to Nosara. Really actually up to San Juanillo. River mouth is here from Nosara. This is Nosara, Punta India here, and then up on that section's San Juanillo. Great valley views, very private. The way sunset works here, because we're at the equator, it actually moves a lot across the horizon. Around October, it's up here and it moves all the way down, and then behind this ridge around November. So from about November to January, you don't see sunset. That depends on how you look at it, but that's the hottest time of the year. So that can be a benefit because a lot of the houses on ridges are facing sunset, and the solar gain, how much it heats up the house by having sunset this time of year makes a big difference. So that can be an advantage, but it's really 9 months a year you would see sunset on the ocean. You'd still see sunset, it just would go behind this ridge, goes up right behind these trees up to here. All right, so a lot of people are interested in doing a food forest. Where would you do that here? Well, one spot is back here by the water tank. You don't need a lot of space to do a food forest, or at least you don't need a lot of space to produce a lot of fruit. The more space, the better, but you can get a lot of variety and total amount of fruit in a small space. So I would think a good spot is kind of coming down through here, up here behind these trees, using the shade right back here where you see these bigger trees and it gets a little dark. There's an obvious forest line. That's a forest reserve. So you couldn't use that, but you could absolutely use the shade. You see up here, sun through the trees. It's morning at the moment, so that's where the path of the sun comes up on this side of the lot, passes over the top, and then depending on the year, the sun sets here, and then you get it 6 months later up here. The water tank, which is right here, is a relic from an older project. So what that could be used for is either excess capacity, which is always a good idea. Everyone in Nosara, almost everyone has excess capacity in some sort of holding tank because the water systems break, turn on and off, and it's seamless that way if you have your own holding tank. Usually leaks and breaks are fixed fast enough to where you don't feel anything if you have a holding tank. So this could be used as a holding tank, but it could also be used agriculturally as rainwater catch or both for that matter, and you could feed it with some house built up here. I'm on, heading down the driveway now, but some house here, and then use your rain gutters to fill the tank here. And then you could gravity feed it down. You could gravity feed it down to some sort of herb garden here, or food forest. This is the driveway. Driveway needs to be made permanently usable. It is not at the moment. It was designed and cut in years and years and years ago, but it was never finished. So that is the work that would need to be done. You can see it's pretty flat through here. You could drive up it now, but you actually can't drive up it now because there's a ditch right down there. But people, before that ditch was in, you could drive up here. Pretty bumpy, but you could drive up here. So what it needs is base. It needs to have rock put over the surface here, maybe scraped with a backhoe to make it a little bit smoother, and then compacted. Once that happens, you've got a usable road. It's not that expensive, but you've got a usable road for 12 months, and then from there you do maintenance if needed.